before we get up out of here, we got to do a quick Steelers-Browns Week 14 preview. And, I mean, we don't really got to go over anything crazy here because we did just play the Browns 2 weeks ago on Thursday Night Football and did a whole preview for that. So not much has changed. Now, I will give more credit at least, to the Browns offense, particularly the passing game with Jameis Winston, than I did heading into that Thursday night game, because it feels like now, after 5 or 6 games under Winston's belt, he has settled in. He is clearly a guy that could lead the Browns offensive unit, can get the ball down the field, can pass at a pretty high clip. We saw him almost throw for 500 against the Broncos. We saw him moving the ball up and down the field against us in the snow, unfortunately. So, yeah, there's a legitimate uptick in the Browns offense having Jameis Winston versus Deshaun Watson. And I alluded to that before the Thursday night game, but it's still – I still didn't think it was completely there yet, and there was a lot of inconsistency. I think Jameis only played in 3 games up to that point, and there was a lot of ups and downs. So that's why I was saying Browns offense, they definitely can't run the ball, but I'm not even that worried about the passing game either, because even with Deshaun Watson, Jameis Winston has given them a little bit of a spark, but it's still it's still nothing you want to be writing home about. Now, though, after seeing a couple more games of Jameis Winston, yes, they have a legit passing attack. Jameis has a connection with Jerry Jeudy, also has a connection with Elijah Moore. We know Njoku's a decent tight end. So, there's that. Jameis can pass. There's a reason that he was the number 1 overall pick way back in the day, because he has arm talent. The problem with him is he will throw that ball to the other team at a pretty high clip as well. So you get almost like the best of both worlds with Jameis Winston. He's one of the more entertaining quarterbacks in the game, because you're going to get some crazy passes, some passes that are too risky to be thrown, way too risky to be thrown, but they somehow get complete because of the arm talent that Jameis Winston has. You'll get all over the spectrum with him, because you'll get the highlights, but then you get the passes where he literally throws it directly to the opposing players for easy pick sixes. The one against the Broncos, he threw it to the D lineman, right to the D lineman. He had grass all right ahead of him. Easy pick six, taken to the house. The other one to Levi Wallace, right to him. And then whenever it was garbage time, they were about to score. They were all the way down at the goal line. Throws a little floater right to, I think it was, I don't know if it was a lineman. That might have been a linebacker at that point. Just right to him. So Jameis does that. He's all over the place. So if he does get hot, secondary might have some trouble with how JPJ has been playing recently with some of the penalties. But I also wouldn't be surprised if we get 2 or 3 picks. I think the setting is much more in our favor this week. Just everything surrounding this game. We're not coming off of this big Ravens win on a short week where everyone is singing our praises. Now, people still are singing our praises. We're 9-3, and rightfully so, they should. But it's not like we're on the winning streak that we were on either. So, we were coming off of how many wins in a row with Russ? I think it was and not even with Russ. That was 4 or 5 wins in a row, capped off with the big Ravens win. Everyone was talking a lot about the Ravens being the favorites in the AFC, and this is going to be a big test for the Steelers. It's going to be a pivotal point in their season, whether they prove they're contenders or not, real contenders or not. And we did that. We beat the Ravens, so everyone was high on us. And then we have the short week against the Browns. They're 2-8 on the road, inclement weather. Whereas now we're 2 weeks removed from the loss. We got the get-right game against the Bengals. Now we got the last 5 weeks of the season. Let's show the league who we are. Let's go into the playoffs playing Steeler football. Let's not mess around. And the fact that we lost to the Browns too, there's an additional revenge factor in this one too. For sure. TJ Watt was a no-show in that game. Myles Garrett had the 3 sacks. You mean to tell me TJ Watt ain't going to be going off again in this game? You mean to tell me that Steelers aren't going to be better prepared for Myles Garrett after seeing what he did on Thursday Night Football and seeing how we played against Trey Hendrickson in this Bengals game? Yeah, I think we're going to have a little bit better of a game plan. But I think basically, I think the setting is better for the Steelers. There's no like letdown game factor, no Tomlin loss factor. If anything, there's the revenge factor in our favor, and we're at home, and we're coming off of the bounce back win against the Bengals. Like we should be feeling pretty good about ourselves, and not overlooking a Browns team because we just lost to them a couple weeks prior. So I don't think there's any weird factors going into this game for us. This should just be clean Steeler football at home, take care of business, get the job done, avenge for the loss that we had against Cleveland on Thursday Night Football. That's that. So if you take that away, I mean, I think everything else really stays the same with this Browns team, outside of, as I mentioned, Jameis Winston being their quarterback, him like settling in and actually having like an offensive identity and offensive vibe going. Whereas again, 2 weeks ago, I didn't think they were completely there just yet. But you add the game against us and you add the Broncos game, it feels like Jameis is settling in. The Browns are settling in with having him be their quarterback in their offense. But outside of that, outside of the passing game being like kind of decent, there's not much to this Browns team that I'm worried about. Their run defense still not that good, although I'll give them credit. They have done better over like the last 5 or 6 weeks as a whole, but they've still had games where they're giving up 100 plus on the ground. And I think part of that is if the offense that they're going up against will stick with the run, and we'll do that. Like even in our Thursday night game, we weren't the most efficient on the ground, but we still stayed with it, stayed balanced, had 120 yards. So we'll be able to run against this Browns defense. We're definitely going to be able to pass. And Pickens is going to want to go off against Newsom. So, like, yeah, the Browns. It's really Browns is the Browns, man. Browns is the. I stand by that. I don't think they're that good. We beat ourselves in that Thursday night game. I think they just had a lot of things go in their favor and kind of got lucky with it. Whereas, again, everything's the same. We're the better team. Browns know who they are a little bit more right now, but we're the better team. There's no reason for us to lose this game if we play Steeler brand football. We play balanced, run it with Najee, get the running backs involved, Russ, take your shots downfield. You just keep playing like you are. Keep playing like an elite quarterback. Defense, yeah, man. I think you're going up against an offense that isn't going to be better than the Bengals. Like I said after the game, I think that Bengals offense is going to be the best offense this defense goes up against for the rest of the season. So it's not like the Browns offense is any better. They can't run the ball. At least the Bengals can run the ball. They can't run the ball. Chubb ain't the same. Jerome Ford, he ain't that amazing. So it's going to be make the Browns a little bit one-dimensional and catch the passes that Jameis throws to you and stay locked down in coverage, man. I think if you do make them one-dimensional, though, that helps our case a lot. I think that's going to help us out a lot. Even though Jameis can make certain passes, he can do certain things. If you make him throw 40, 50 times, there's going to be at least 4 or 5 of them that are in the Steelers defender's direction, and it just comes down to us catching him or not. So I got this one, and we got the advantage in special teams too. Don't forget about that, Boswell. I got this one. This is going to be just a clean win, man. I'm telling you, this is going to be a clean win. We take care of business. We're the better team. This is how it should have been on Thursday Night Football, but it wasn't. We win 28-14, 28-13. I like 28-13. Just a clean win. Game's over. End of the third quarter, early fourth quarter. We're up 2-3 scores, and it just comes down to running out the clock. And Browns trying to come back in garbage time, but they're ultimately not able to that degree. But that's it for today's show. Hope you guys enjoyed. Yeah, let's keep this thing rolling. 9-3. Let's get to 10-3. Hopefully the Chiefs, hopefully the Bills lose. So that increases our chance of getting the 1 seed. We get that bye for the playoffs, and we get home field advantage for the whole playoffs. That'd be awesome. But yeah, stay chilling. Like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed. Here we go, Steelers, and peace.